Hello everyone, I am here and I'm doing a vintage Chanel handbag buying guide for everyone today, sharing everything I've learned over the years in 10 years of buying and selling vintage, and also some of the most frequently asked questions that I get. So I am answering those in this little guide today, and I'm sharing some of the bags I have available for sale. I'm gonna start with the smallest vintage Chanel classic bag I have in my collection, and that is the single flap mini style. So it's single flap because it has one flap here. When you open it, it's just one flap. And this is a full crossbody style. So I want to put it on and kind of show you where it hits. As you can see, it hits on my hip here. And this is in black lambskin leather. So the Chanel bags came in lambskin leather, which is the buttery soft leather like this one, and then also the caviar leather, which is more of a textured nubby style, but that was very rare in 80s and 90s Chanel handbags, and it became more popular of a leather that the design house used in the early 2000s. Now this bag is in great condition, as is all of the bags in my collection are. As you can tell on the corners, they just wear really well. This bag in particular is from 1989 to 91, and it looks like pretty much brand new. And that's because of the quality of materials that Chanel used back then in the 80s and 90s. The hardware on 80s and 90s bags used 24 karat gold plate. That's what gives vintage Chanel bags that dreamy yellow gold finish. They no longer use 24 karat gold plating, so the hardware doesn't have this beautiful yellow gold to it anymore, and that's why people really love the vintage Chanel handbags. Not only for the color, but also the 24 karat helps the plating last over the years. As you can tell, this plating is in great shape. There's no tarnishing. A lot of today's bags, I've heard, the plating gets a little bit more wear, maybe you see scratches. It definitely isn't as thick of a plate as the once was 24 karat gold plate that they did in the 80s and 90s. So I want to open this bag up. I authenticate all of the bags based on all of the design details, like the number of stitching in the quilting, the way that the CCs overlap here, all of the markings on the hardware, and also the serial code, which is in all of the bags. Now, Chanel bags, when you buy them new, they come with the serial code inside and a little kind of credit card, like a plastic looking credit card that is called the authentication card. Now you have to remember the vintage bags, this bag is like from the 80s, early 90s. It's been through a lot, and I no longer have the authentication card. Well, I never had it to begin with. I just have this bag and now I'm, selling it, moving it on. But as you can imagine, over the years, the authentication card really gets missing. So that is by far not that important to have in a vintage Chanel bag. When you're buying a bag, you want to just make sure it has the serial code the serial code stamp inside. All bags have them. If one is missing, I don't recommend buying the bag. What's nice about having the serial code is that you can use that serial code number and look on websites to find out the year that the bag is from. I love Yogi's Closet as a reference. It does a great job sharing how to date a Chanel bag. Okay, so that's some of the fun facts about Chanel bags in the 80s and 90s. Again, this is the mini single flap bag, and it is available for sale in my collection. All right. Then I have the small single flap bag. This one is in beige. It's so beautiful, but I'm so sorry to tell you that it's already been sold and I have to ship it out to a customer today. Now, this bag here is a full crossbody size, just like the mini. It hits at the same place on the hip, and it is just such a beautiful bag. Now, beige leather is really hard to come by. It costs more than the black because, again, one, it's lighter in fabric, so it gets more wear over the years. So when you find one in amazing shape like this with no discoloration, it's gonna cost you, and it's gonna be quite the investment. Also, navy, red, and any of the fashion colors are all going to be more expensive than the black. Black is kind of like the standard baseline because there's a lot more of them out there. This again is the small single flap bag, and it has in it, obviously it's serial code card, and this one also comes with its original dust bag. Sometimes vintage bags come with their original dust bag and box. As you can see, I have some boxes over here. If I ever find a bag with its authentication card box or dust bag, I always include it. But again, I would say that only happens like 30% of the time when you're buying a vintage Chanel bag. And it really doesn't matter. It doesn't change the value at all if it has those things or it doesn't. Now, when you're storing your bag, if it has a dust bag or you can use another dust bag, you always want to store it in a dust bag, and you always want to store it filled with bubble wrap as well so that it keeps its shape, which I always do, but I took it out for this video. And then you want to pull the chains in like this and tuck them inside. And then you hook the bag and you store it flat in its dust bag filled with bubble wrap, but not too much bubble wrap that it would like lose its shape or anything. And then you store it with nothing on top on a flat surface. It's the best way to maintain the shape of the bag and keep it in amazing condition and help it hold its value. Okay, so then we have the double flap Chanel bag with double straps here. This is the most iconic Chanel style. This one is also from the 80s, early 90s, and it is in black lambskin leather in amazing condition, as are all Chanel bags in my collection. I am really particular. I've been buying and selling for over a decade now, so I'm absolutely an expert and really particular about quality because my customers love wearing and using these bags. And okay, so you can see, again, this is the small double flap, double chain bag. This bag, again, is the most iconic, but you will notice there is a lot of variations over the years. Sometimes it can extend 2 inches this way, 2 inches this way, and it will vary. It'll have a different name to it, maybe a small or medium double flap bag, just so you kind of know what the names and the variations are there. Now this is the double chain, and gosh, it just looks good with anything. Chanel bags are so amazing like this because you can really dress them up or dress them down. And I think that's why I love them so much. And then this one you can also wear as a crossbody bag by just pulling the chain. However, I just want to show you, and I get questions about this all the time, it's a lot shorter of a crossbody than the mini or small flat bag. This one hits at the waist. Remember, the mini and the small hit at my hip here. So it's a lot shorter. So if you have like obviously a big jacket on or a big sweater, it's gonna be a little harder to wear it this way. This way is gonna be great for just like a simple tee or maybe like a little sundress or something. But yes, you can wear it as a crossbody. A lot of people are kind of curious about that and where it hits. Okay, now we've got the Mambo Jumbo. So this is the jumbo single flap bag. Everything about this bag is bigger, including the hardware on it. Even the chain is like wider. It's like heavier. This bag is stunning. It's from 94 to 97. So you could just imagine this was like the bag, the workwear power bag people were toting around. New York, I could just like see it and feel it in action. This one's black lambskin leather. It's a single flap, so it opens up. Again, everything on this bag is bigger. The hardware is bigger. The CCs are bigger. It's stunning. It does fit a small laptop and it's pretty wide. It's a very practical bag. Now the straps, you can wear 2 ways. Right now I have it on the crossbody and I just want to show you the crossbody because it's huge. I'm 5'3" for reference. This bag hits more at my thigh, so it's by far the longest crossbody that you're gonna find in Chanel bags. Now you can also wear it as the double strap chain, kind of similar to the other the most iconic one that I was just sharing with you. And all you have to, okay, so you just kind of pull the strap out like that, and now you have it as a double strap, and anybody can wear this bag. It is so chic, so amazing. Oh, I just love it. I'm obsessed with Chanel. As you can tell, I also have Chanel statement earrings on from the 90s. I just love 80s and 90s Chanel. Okay, so those bags are the heritage Chanel bags from the 80s and 90s. They are definitely an investment. They are somewhere between $5,000 to $7,500. They are an investment. They always go up in price. They hold their value. So if you're gonna make the investment, it's always worth it. But if you're not ready to make that type of investment, you can also still have a Chanel bag for half the price if you're willing to have more of a fashion style. So I have some early 2000s Chanel fashion bags from the Travel Line collection, which is the early 2000s. And this bag here is just the flat bag, single flap, single strap, and you still kind of get the heritage details of the iconic bags, but it's in a fabric and not a leather material. This one is pink, so cute. Little shoulder bag, love this one. Also just think it looks so cute to just tote around and carry. And again, these bags are more like half the price and available for sale in my collection now. And then also Chanel totes are usually priced like a little bit, 1,000 or so lower than the classic flat bags. This one is in black lambskin leather. Such a chic bag, kind of like structured here. Fits like a water bottle, some light paperwork maybe, a larger wallet, sunglasses, all the things you would need. And it's just like a little bit more understated, which I kind of like. The CC's not like screaming at you, but it's still there. Such a just timeless tote. So again, just some tricks and tips, lots of things I shared here. If you ever want more information, I know these are huge investments. I've been buying and selling vintage for over a decade now. I've seen a lot, I've returned a lot, I know a lot. So I'm happy to answer questions, connect with you before you make these purchases. I just personally love vintage so much. Beautiful things, quality things, and I want you to feel confident in buying and owning something really special. So I'm always here to chat. The best place to find me is on Instagram, just at my name, Jillian Bremer. But I'm also here, I share weekly unboxings, vintage unboxings here on YouTube and all my social channels. And I don't just sell Chanel, I sell also like Louis Vuitton, I've got some Prada, Fendi, I do bags, belts, jewelry, and scarves. I sell a ton of silk scarves too. So you can actually, I just recently did a scarf tutorial on my Instagram if you're interested in getting some new fresh ideas. All right, thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful.